touchdown. She hit the line on the far side, and the Rebels win.
Stop playing. Stop playing. He connects. Rebels with their first lead of the night.
And the Andover Huskies are your section champion.
It is amateur baseball tonight. North Branch and Andover from Brooklyn Park at Noble Field. Steve Thompson along with Tim Anderson. And it's been a dry summer. We do need the rain, but not tonight. There is rain potentially in our future.
Yeah, maybe within the next hour or so, something that we're going to keep an eye on. Obviously, we have a tendency to see the weather drift away an extra hour or so, but normally when they predict severe weather, they get it right around here. And so I anticipate off in the radar, it's off the west right now, they're anticipating 8:45 is when we start to see maybe some of the heavier stuff coming in. And we'll take a look at that when the time comes. But, Steve, first pitch is ready to go here, and let's throw it to you.
Andover and North Branch here tonight from Brooklyn Park. We'll be under the lights. I'll turn those on here pretty quickly. And the first pitch from Andover's starting pitcher, Benji Bruce. He has started one game this year, doesn't have any record, 11 innings. His ERA 4.09. Delivers a couple of bad ones to Clint Madison, the leadoff hitter, playing in center field for the North Branch Nighthawks, 10-9 on the year. Andover 9-14, 3-9 in Metro Mini play.
Developing story right before the game was that the mound appeared to need a little maintenance, and it looks like it might still need some maintenance. And you just wonder about the pitcher being comfortable, if that will not be something to keep an eye on here in the early part of this game as this thing starts to get used.
Yeah, Madison works out a 4-pitch walk, and that'll bring up Noah Wolf. Wolf playing in left field for the Nighthawks. Defensively for Andover, Logan Myers at third, Carson Wade at second. Jake Domovic at second, Tyler Brink at first. Behind the plate, Sam Berg, Benji Bruce on the mound. The outfield the moment. First pitch is a strike to Wolf in the outfield. Sam Plohas in left. Anthony Kuznia in center field. Charlie Hora in right for Andover. And they have, I think, pretty cool uniforms. Kind of throwbacks, throw over to first. Runner gets back. That is Madison, who had that 4-pitch walk to start the ball game. Heavy air here tonight, not a lot of breeze. The mosquitoes love this weather, but, Tim, I've got bug sprays, so we're covered.
I'm hoping so, because I got the wind last week here when we were at this game, at this field. It was very windy, and we didn't have the bugs. But tonight I worry a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we've got Bruce, strike 2 now to the number 2 hitter, Wolf. Leadoff man aboard, Madison for North Branch here in the top of the first inning. Really a nice facility here, and they're going to potentially add a grandstand. We've been waiting for years for that. There's a pitch high and outside, 1-2.
Well, we wouldn't be worried about the weather if they had it. We'd be hiding up there, and we wouldn't even be worried about it.
And the gold standard in these parts, of course, Castle Field and Brooklyn Park has been promising, but it seems as though that project just gets delayed and kicked down the road year after year. And there's a throw over to first, and the runner gets back. Count rides along at 1-2. But the thought is they will build a grandstand. They'll have a press box. They'll have a PA system, because this is the home of the Champlain Park Low-Gators. They're playing the Metro Mini, and there's one slapped into the gap in right center field. Down for a hit, headed toward the fence. Runner heads for third. That is a solid single for Wolf. And now runners at the corners for North Branch here in the top of the first inning.
Well, he got behind on Bruce early on. It was an 0-2 count, but did a nice job of just kind of protecting the plate. Just threw the bat at the ball. Just a compact swing that sort of just protects yourself at the plate. Didn't go for the downs or anything. Put it in play, and now we have runners at the corners. Nice job by Wolf on that AB.
Jimmy Scratch digs in, playing at shortstop for North Branch here, and looks one down low, ball 1. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Number 3 hitter up for North Branch here.
Don't want to be in a jam early here if you're the Aces, so you'd love to get an out. You'd trade an out for a run, maybe try to get a double play. Something that can get you up and moving in the right direction.
So tough start for Bruce. The walk, solid single, throw over to first. Runner gets back. Tyler Brink holding the runner over there for the Andover Aces here in the ball game.
So it's kind of, I've never really liked that move. I understand why you do it because you want to try to prevent the double steal. But, man, all it takes is one bad throwaway to the first baseman. You give up a run.
1-1. Hit in the air and foul. Out of play down the right field line. Hitting in the number 3 hole. Scratch, good year. 361. 17 runs, 22 hits, 9 RBI in the season for the Nighthawks, who made the trip into Brooklyn Park. There's line to short, caught. Throw behind, or a hold, was going to throw behind the runner over at first, held on to it. Nice play there by Wade. Liner right at him. Runner stay put. And now one away.
There's an example of what we talk about just getting a quick out right there. Runners don't even advance. Like I said, they were willing to trade the out for the run, but instead they get the best of all the worlds there. They get the quick out. Runners don't advance, and now the double play still in order.
So here's Charlie Linder digging in. The pitcher, he chops one towards second. They tag the runner, go to first, and the runner's safe. First base wasn't at the bag. Run will score from third. That's Madison, North Branch. Now with 2 away, he'll have a runner at first and a run in.
Yeah, that one, that should have been 2. And I think they'll look back and tell you that one was definitely a double play that should have happened. Instead, they can concede the run and only get the 1 out. Dumovic, I think, had the chance to just flip it to short and go 4-6-3 with the double play. Instead, waits for the runner, tags him, and tries to hustle it over to first. But, yeah, Brick wasn't on the bag at that moment. And that allowed the runner to be safe.
Here's Solberg. He digs in. Playing down at first for the Nighthawks. Looks at strike 1. So a run in on a hit and a walk in the inning.
Yeah, you mix in a fielder's choice right there.
Here's one hit towards second again. Domovic picks it up, throws him out. So he's retired 4-3, but North Branch gets a run on a hit. They leave one after a half an inning. They lead it here in Brooklyn Park 1-0 on QCTV. Steve Thompson, Tim Anderson. And once again, we look to the west and to the northwest, and it sure is dark, but no raindrops here yet. You're keeping an eye on the radar. I know they're keeping an eye on the radar in the truck.
They certainly are.
And we did get a fair amount of rain earlier in the day, and much needed rain. I know you like to tee it up and play golf, and it is dry. They're putting water down here. It doesn't show it, but boy, some of the yards around the area, it's pretty dry. We definitely do need the rain.
No question.
And here's the North Branch team defensively.
Yeah, they got Wolf out in left field, Matson in center with Robinson playing in right, Axberg, Skrock, and the other Axberg, 2 Axbergs, by the way. 2 sets of brothers on this team, but that is Jordan at second, Justin at third. And then, of course, the other part of the brothers group is Solberg, Nick Solberg playing first base with Austin Darwin behind the plate. And Charlie Linder will be doing the pitching for the Nighthawks. The other brother, Matt Solberg, waiting on the bench. It's a lot of brothers, actually, on this team. There's three sets of relatives entirely making up a good chunk of this North Branch squad. As Charlie Linder, the right-hander, takes his warm-up tosses. Here comes the batting order for the Aces.
Yeah, and it's Myers, Waddell.
Wade.
Yeah, that's Wade.
I think it's Waddell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it is Wade. No, it's Waddell. They got it right. There's the L. It's in there. Carson Waddell.
And then Hora, and then Bruce, Blohaz, Brick, and then Domovic, Berg, and Kuznia. Of course, Benji Bruce is pitching and batting in the number 4 hole for the Andover Aces here tonight.
Apologize to Carson because my L got blocked by the score sheet, as yours did as well. So he did not get a chance to see
I copied yours.
Yeah,
so
that's my problem. It was right there. It's totally my fault. I blew it.
And then I didn't look at the stat sheet, and there it is.
Well, of course.
Clear as day. By the way, Logan Myers getting ready to dig in. And 7 games this year, 31 plate appearances, 28 at-bats, 5 runs, 11 hits, 393 on the year for Andover, and we're coming up on the end of the regular season. Mm-hmm. Then it will be postseason tournament, the Metro Mini. And then on to the state tournament this year. Faribault, Dundas, and Meesville hosting the B and the C. So for those teams here in the North Metro, quite a road trip. Typically Champlin Park, the Low Gators, Noka Bucks are a part of the proceeding.
The Blaine Fusion, as always, in the mix there. Those top and the Redbirds at Coon Rapids had they've all had a very nice season up top the Metro Mini. It is a pretty competitive conference across the board. Aces at the bottom of that, but even still, a solid squad, 9-14 overall heading into tonight.
Oh, the leadoff hitter Myers for Andover, having a pretty good year. Starting pitcher there, Linder. There's one outside.
2-1 now as I look at the Aces uniforms, and the problem is I'm seeing a lot of Blaine Bengal feels, and it's throwing me off.
Yeah, no doubt. That one hit high and foul out of play over the Andover dugout. Once again, playing in Brooklyn Park, and the key is lights. I'm a little surprised the lights aren't on yet because of the cloud cover, but I would expect those to click on here shortly. But typically on a cloudy day, for a game that will likely finish under the lights, we would start play with the lights on, but not so far here at Noble.
Yeah, you wonder who that favors as there's a walk to Myers, and he's going to run down quickly as it got away from the catcher Darwin. But does that favor a pitcher because maybe it's a little harder for the ball to pick up if you're the hitter, or is it vice versa? I mean, there's some – I'm wondering if there is an advantage to anybody at this stage.
All right, here's Carson Waddell. And by the way, on the year, leads the team in plate appearances with 100, 80 official at bats, 24 hits, 276 on the year. What a year for him. Batting in the number 2 spot. And both teams started the game with walks. And that one goes all the way to the screen, and Myers is going to take that easy trot down to second base. So Andover, just like that, has the tying run in scoring position.
Well, I'll tell you what, Austin Darwin having some trouble picking up the ball from Charlie Linder. Looking at that cloud cover in the background might be causing an issue there. That's already 2 that have snuck past him.
Yeah, the batter's eye is the hillside, but we mentioned the dry weather. There's another one upstairs, 2-0. But it's not an ideal. In a typical year, that would be a much deeper green in the hillside. And right now, not a perfect batter's eye. And as you pointed out on those high ones, those ones get up into that cloud cover over the center field fence. So there's one down in the dirt. Good stamp there by Darwin, the catcher. Now 3-0. So Linder in a little bit of trouble here in the first inning.
Yeah, you wonder if he's also dealing with the mound, because Bruce came out to the mound first before they started to do the maintenance work on it. Linder is not yet to go on that mound until just before warm-ups here now, and so he might be dealing with his footing for the first time out there and having some challenges picking up location.
Runner goes from second down to third. He's going to steal it easily. And now Andover has a runner at third, nobody out. And Waddell is still at the plate in the count 3-1. There's a Hy-Vee nearby. There's a Cub nearby. I'm surprised they didn't send someone on the bench to pick up some kitty litter to clean up that mound a little bit. There's one smash foul outside of third. Look out.
There's also like a 4-story Taco Bell around here. They could have brought that to you and I. I mean, there were things that could have been done that clearly weren't. And that's something to definitely keep an eye on as we go forward.
Yeah, the world famous Taco Bell in Brooklyn Park. My daughter has friends that live out in California and out Las Vegas way, and they say, how come it ended up in Brooklyn Park of all places? And there's a walk. So now Andover has 2 aboard and nobody out here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Charlie Hora.
Cutting edge, my friend. It's the cutting edge. And one thing to pick up, too, on that stolen base with Myers is the fact that Linder didn't really hold him on, and also didn't really work out of a stretch that was going to be quick to the plate. I think you can see Linder a little deliberate and maybe not going to hold those runners as closely, and that might open the door for some stolen bases. There's a little slide step.
Hora delivers takes strike 1. So Linder finally pours one in with runners at the corners and nobody out. Once again, North Branch, the 1-0 lead. They scratched out a run on a hit and a walk in inning number 1. Now in the home half of the first, Andover trying to get the equalizer, maybe more. Linder checks a runner. This one hit in the air to left. Should be no problem for Wolf. He's got it measured. Runner tags from third. Here's the throw all the way into the infield. It's cut off. And we have a tie ball game and a sac fly RBI by Hora.
Very effective at bat right there for Charlie Hora as he gets the sac fly, brings in the RBI. We're tied at 1, but that's a big out. We talked in the first inning, the top of the first, about trading an out for a run early. For Charlie Linder, he'll absolutely take that. A ball that gets put in play. He threw some strikes there, and he'll trade the 1-1 game now that he's maybe found some command here and found a little feel for the baseball.
Here's pitcher Benji Bruce for Andover with the runner at first. 1 away, 1 in. And he looks at 1 high. Ball 1. Bruce on the year. 91 at bats.
They called strike there for you, Steve.
Strike at
the
letters.
A little bit of a high strike there, and he gets the call. Well, the Aces are in big letters, in fairness, so on the jersey. So
28 hits, 15 RBI for Bruce. In the cleanup spot for Andover here tonight. He waves that 1 outside. Now he's in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, Linder's starting to maybe find a feel. He's thrown a few strikes in a row. That time he changed a pace, drops it down, throws a little breaking ball. Got the hitter out front. That's a good sign that the pitcher might be settling in. You didn't see him really do that the first couple of hitters. You saw him kind of rearing back, just trying to find it with fastballs, and now you see him changing pace.
Probably need to turn the lights on.
Yeah.
0-2. There's one way up high, back to the screen, and the runner will advance. Second wild one of the inning by Linder.
I won't put that one on Austin Darwin. Charlie Linder hit that one. He threw that one up to the second level of the backstop there. That was way up in the air. And I agree with you. And our old eyes need the extra vision, so we need the help here. So turn those lights on. It'd be great.
Another count, 1-2. Runner at second, run in for Andover. That one slapped foul while out of play. That goes into the pine trees. That might be a challenge. 1-2. Count rides along.
Yeah, when that happens to me in golf, we like to just drop the ball right next to the tree and keep playing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know how you give up on those $5 titleists so easy, but
not a thing.
The 1-2 called strike 3, and Linder gets a strikeout. Now 2 away.
Oof. Well, he got the high strike for strike 1, and then he gets kind of the low strike for strike 3, and yeah, Bruce is going to be like, I better be getting that at the top of the second inning. I better get those same calls.
Left fielder Sam Plojas wearing number 7. I like the synergy. 292 on the year. 21 hits, 5 doubles, couple of triples, a home run, 16 RBI. And he looks at one, I believe, down low, ball 1.
Yeah, Linder not sharp in this first inning, nor was Bruce in the top of the first, but yet a chance to get out of here with just the 1 run. And in a 1-1 game, I think you'd absolutely take that out of the first inning, considering the starts that both pitchers had.
So the right-hander Linder checks that runner. Runner goes from second to third. It's hit on the ground to second. Axberg grabs, throws wide, and the run will come all the way around to score. Now the runner from first caught in a rundown. They're going to get him, but Andover takes a 2-1 lead after all of that. So an error leads to another run. And after one, Andover leads it 2-1 here on QCTV. Anderson, clouds continue to thicken And the plot thickens. When will they turn on the lights? That's what I'm wondering. Did somebody forget the key to the lock? Is someone from the city of Brooklyn Park stopping by? We need lights sooner than later.
Andover may not have paid a bill coming in as renters, as tenants. Maybe they're just like,
There's a shot. So Andover's playing here tonight because they have lights. Their home field does not. And
here we are.
Here we are.
But we should have them soon. I'm sure they're on an automatic timer, and I'm sure we'll get them here shortly.
Here's Bruce, first pitch, strike one. And it's Jordan Axberg digging in for North Branch. Then Justin Axberg and Isaiah Scarborough, 6, 7, and 8 in the Nighthawks lineup in a swing and a miss.
The very rare 2 runs on no hits first inning for the Andover Aces. A couple of walks, an error, sac fly, a couple stolen bases, a couple wild pitches. A very eventful first inning, but no hits for the Aces.
Bruce, 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. So a 3-pitch strikeout of Jordan Axberg starts inning number 2. And with one away, the batter's going to be Justin Axberg.
Bruce going with a lot of the soft stuff here to start the second inning. Off speed, getting the hitter out in front consistently, and then finished him off with the strikeout.
Of course, the Axbergs from North Branch. Jordan a moment ago, going into his sophomore year at Bethel. And now brother Justin at the plate, playing at third base. It's that ball one.
It's a lot of hanging out with your brother. Liking the same stuff, doing the same things. I got to tell you, I wouldn't have enjoyed that.
But here's the thing. Saves on fuel.
It does. No, you could carpool. Yeah, that's true. You could totally. It's not bad.
Hey, especially with the price of fuel. 1-1 the count. Conference on the mound between Berg and Bruce for Andover.
Yeah, Berg clearly crossed up at something there, wanted one thing, got something else entirely, and wanted to go out there and clarify what we were doing.
Now, with rain imminent, the first thing they're going to want to do is cover up that mound because it can't take much more.
Yeah,
they had to work on it before we got started here tonight. They're going to need to cover that one quick. Here's the 1-1 from Bruce. Good off-speed pitch, strike 2.
I did see some lightning way off in the distance. It's not here yet, but you can kind of see it off in the western part of the sky there.
And sitting right next to a metal fence, not a good idea. Here's one slapped towards second. Demovic picks it up, throws him out, 2 away.
I'll be moving to a wooden chair shortly, and
yeah, I'm sitting on a metal stool here. You're in a metal chair.
Yeah, I'll probably stand up.
We have aluminum bleachers behind us. Light standards in the vicinity. Probably not a great spot.
Yeah, my umbrella is still a little skeptical too, but it's a golf umbrella. I feel good about it.
Did you bring your 1-iron? You know the joke.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. And I don't have one of those as well because I also cannot hit one.
Yeah.
And that's just wasting a spot in the bag at this point.
Yeah. Ball 1, and the batter is Scarborough, Isaiah Scarborough.
Both pitchers wanting to work quickly here. Bruce working very quickly in the second inning. Nice pitch again changing speeds.
Scarborough graduated from North Branch this spring, first year with the Nighthawks, and he is playing in right field. 1-0 pitch from Bruce, and it's fouled out of play down the right field line, giving chase. Tyler Brick can't get there, runs out of room.
It's one of the fun parts of town ball when those high school kids graduate and they join the town ball team and they hang out for a few years, or in the case of Ryan Bruns, your whole time for Champlin Park. He's been there 20 years, it feels like. So, but that's always fun when you get to see those familiar names, those names that you saw playing for the high school team.
1-2, swing and a miss. So a tidy 1-2-3 inning for the Andover starter, Benji Bruce. North Branch goes down 1-2-3. We played 1.5. And it is 2-1 Andover here on QCTV, and the home plate umpire and Bruce chatting over there on the first base line. Not sure what that's all about, but
checking for sticky stuff, or maybe.
I don't know if there's Spider Tack and Metro Mini.
I'm not sure there is a lot of that.
Yeah.
We'll take a look here at the standings in the Metro Mini heading into tonight. Blaine Fusion, we talked about them, Steve, right? They're 10-2 in the conference. The Low Gators right there doing what they do. The Redbirds having a nice season. Bucks kind of hanging in that 500 area with Forest Lake and St. Michael. Then, of course, Centennial having a little bit of a struggle. And Andover is a little better than the record indicates. at 3-9. They have a nice little young squad. Talked to manager Rob Belshner before the game and talked a lot about those young high school players that they're getting and some of those guys that are in their early 20s. They're a very young team, but this is a very competitive division.
Yeah, it certainly is a good league. Metro Mini well represented at the state tournament, especially a state tournament that's been dominated by some of the traditional powers. You hear Dundas and Chanhassen and Meesville, but the Anoka Bucks in particular, the Champlain Park Low Gators have definitely been putting up quite a fight. You mentioned the Blaine Fusion. They've been upset, though, along the way to the state tournament in more recent years. A bit of a surprise as they've dominated this league, but haven't been able to get to the Class B, and that is a fun event. Like I say, Faribault, Dundas, and Meesville. So amateur fans in this part of the world are going to have a bit of a haul to take it in. Well south of the metro area. We have seen a little more lightning to the west. We continue to play on, and Andover's going to send Brick, Domovic, and Berg 6, 7, and 8 against the North Branch starter Linder here in inning number 2. Once again, Andover, a couple of runs, no hits in their home half of the first inning. Here's Charlie Linder. First pitch of the inning, way up high.
And the variable heading into these playoffs always is the young players that have to go to college or that are leaving the area, and does that deplete the roster, and what are you bringing to the playoffs?
Linder's pitch, swing and a miss. Now we got a strike.
And Linder's ready to go. Like, he was on the rubber ready to go, and that allowed Brick to step out for a second.
And they did pop the lights on here before this bottom of the second. That fouled to the screen. And Brick's a big guy. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
Formidable figure in the batter's box for Andover.
Linder working quickly, waiting on Tyler Brick.
Brick went to Hamlin, veteran guy, taps one foul. The count will ride along, and he'll stay alive. But, you know, Brick's definitely a big guy in that batter's box. On the year, 289. Hasn't popped one over the fence. 4 doubles, 22 overall hits, 10 RBI for Andover. And the pitch. Hit in the air to center field. Coming on, Madison. Coming on, that'll drop into no man's land. Looks like Jordan Axberg from second was the closest to it. So he didn't get a ton of it, but dropped it in the right spot. And a leadoff hit in the second for Tyler Brick.
The little Texas leaguer in between the shortstop, center fielder, second baseman, the old Bermuda Triangle there. And that was a nice little piece of hitting. Again, protecting the plate. You got 2 strikes. You're behind in the count. Just throw the bat on the ball and give yourself a knock.
12 hits, couple of doubles for Domovic, 6 RBIs, 333 on the year for Andover. 1 on, 1 out. Ooh. That's fouled off the umpire. Ouch.
Jeez.
And we only got 1 here tonight, so he's going to shake that off near the shoulder.
Yeah, he'll feel that in the morning, and maybe feel that now, but he'll definitely feel it in the morning.
That's one of those shots where it's like, why do I do this?
Yeah, it's like, how much am I getting paid again?
Right.
Do they have a health plan? I don't know if they do. And the catcher doing the right thing. Austin Darwin stepping out, buying the ump a minute. Ump's like, all right, get back here. We're ready to get going again. But that's the right move by Austin Darwin.
Can't have games without umpires. The umpire took a shot there. Berg, the catcher. For North Branch. There's a swing and a miss. Linder on the mound. Behind the plate, Darwin. And at the plate is Domovic.
Umpires wear less and less equipment, it feels like, every year, at least, or it's lighter, and they're depending on that catcher to make a lot of the stops.
0-2 the count. Linder gave up that leadoff hit. Runner goes. This one slapped in the air to center field. Coming on, making the catch. The center fielder, Madison, throws behind the runner. And a double play.
Oh, that's where the hit and run doesn't work, right? If you get one up in the air, you risk that. And at that time, Brick got way too far down to second on the hit and run, as all they were kind of hoping for Domovic was just to put the ball in play. And instead, it turns into a double play.
Here's a look at our radar.
Eek.
Not promising at the moment.
I would say not.
This one fouled out of play. 0-1 now. The batter is Sam Berg for Andover catching. And Berg this year, 35 at-bats, 9 hits, 3 doubles, 5 RBI, 257 on the season.
Darwin's been busy behind the plate here for Linder as he's been up and around and down and all over the strike zone for the first inning and 2/3.
Berg with St. John's. That one fouled over the screen and out of play. 1-2 now the count. So 2 away, nobody aboard after the leadoff single by Brick. Then Domovic hit one to center field. Brick strayed too far off the bag and got doubled up. 7-3 on the play. And now the 1-2 waved at outside the zone, dropped by the catcher, third on the first. So that's a strikeout. 2-3 put out of Berg. And Linder faces a minimum. We've played 2, and Andover leads North Branch 2-1 here on QCTV.
Andover, Minnesota. 34.84 square miles and 33,000 strong. Home of the Huskies. Residing in the state where hockey is king, with a new battle for the crown each winter. 16 teams, 14 games, one ultimate dream. But in the end, only 2 teams reigned victorious in the state of hockey.
Skated out in the corner. Andover has won the state title.
Which makes Andover the city of champions.
Takes the lead pass. They come in across Zinda. Shot. Rebound. 2 Andover, your champion.
Type 2 diabetes.
We're in Brooklyn Park for some amateur ball on this Tuesday night. North Branch and Andover. Steve Thompson and Tim Anderson, our great QCTV crew. And here we go to the third, and Benji Bruce taking his warm-up tosses. We get ready to see 9-1-2 in the North Branch Nighthawks lineup. Austin Darwin, the catcher, then to the top, Clint Madison and Noah Wolf here tonight. And if you look to the north, things look pretty good. Straight west, not so good, and hopefully it'll just slide by Noble here tonight and we'll be able to get the ball game in. There's Darwin, the catcher, against Benji Bruce, beginning his 3rd inning. Curveball there, strike 1. Good pitch.
Yeah, Bruce seems to have settled in nicely. Had a little bit of a struggle there in that first part of the first inning, but settled in and then had a really good second inning. Ooh, fouled off the foot there. That's going to hurt. Boy, the catcher takes a pounding, doesn't he?
Yeah, catchers, umpires, yikes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they do take a beating back there. I had a nephew that was a catcher for a long, long time. Played actually out in Rapid City in high school. Went on to the University of Sioux Falls. Played in the Northern Sun and hung him up. Now he plays golf. And he says he doesn't miss it. There's one hit in the air on the infield. Pitcher comes on. Bruce, he'll call his own number.
Wow.
And 1 away.
And normally the pitcher wants to give way there and let the third baseman have it. Pitcher's always coming from a weird angle, right? They're running towards it. They're not exactly able to get under it as easily, but that one seemed to hang in the air long enough for Bruce where he was able to get under it. But normally you like to see the infielder call off the pitcher there.
Logan Myers down at third. Sam Berg behind the plate. Bruce takes it. And there's ball 1 outside. Here's Clint Madison playing in center field. He walked, scored a run. The lone run of the game for North Branch. He led off the game with that free pass. There's one on the outside edge. 1-1 now the count. 1 away, nobody aboard. Top of the third, we may get a break. The way this thing's tracking, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
A little bit of a breeze now.
Meteorologist Steve Thompson there in the Weather Center able to tell us that that we're looking good for a minute here, hopefully. Let's hope so.
It's pure optimism.
That's it.
There's
I love
no
it.
science whatsoever, Tim. 2-1 outside. 3-1 now. So the leadoff hitter for North Branch. And a little bit about Madison, North Branch graduate, heading into his senior season at Augsburg and Minneapolis. Starting center fielder until he injured his foot last season. So MIAC school at Augie at the plate. 3-2, one away for North Branch, and a swing and a miss and another strikeout. Third of the game now for Benji Bruce, the Andover starter.
I like the way Bruce mixes it up. Like he does a good job of, he'll establish a fastball, but he's not afraid to kind of what they call pitch backwards, where you throw the off-speed stuff early in the count and set up for fastballs later. I really like to see the kind of the variety that Bruce pitches with.
There's Noah Wolf, single in the first, smashes one foul toward the Andover dugout, and that's why they got fencing over there. That was a blue dart. Wow.
That'll get everybody double checking their health plans. And
wow. 0-1. Stay behind the fence. There's a swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch inside, fooled Wolf.
That's an example of the adjustment, right? He opened with fastball that got fouled off pretty hard, comes back with off-speed pitch, and out in front was Wolf big time.
Wolf, Coon Rapids grad, playing up in North Branch, played for 3 years at Hamlin. This one slapped in the air to center field, chasing back Kuznia. He has it measured, and just like that, North Branch goes 3 up, 3 down for the second inning in a row. So Benji Bruce settling in after 2.5. Andover leading North Branch 2-1. So these pitchers been pretty efficient after Rocky starts, Tim.
Like I said, they realize the weather's coming too, and they're working very quickly. And that's one thing you notice, that Linder was working very quickly the first couple of innings. Now you're starting to see Benji Bruce do the same thing, working quickly, not spending a lot of time looking at the catcher for signs, just trusting what's going to be put down and throwing. And it's allowing both pitchers, I think, to get into a little bit of a rhythm, to kind of just get in a groove and repeat that delivery, repeat that arm angle, not overthrow.
Well, and I also think whether it's this game or a game you love as well, golf, I think there's no excuse not to play quickly.
I agree.
I think you practice, but you should know what you're doing, especially in a game like this where you have a relative amount of time to think. You get the ball back, know what you want to do, step on the rubber, throw the ball. And I think that could translate and help all the way up to the major league level.
I completely agree, because you want your natural instinct is to be athletic and work quickly, right? That's the natural instinct with any athlete, basketball, football, those quick twitch type sports. And that's kind of baseball is that too. In its essence, I understand that the game can be a little bit slower, but the movements themselves, I think, should happen quickly. They should move quickly. The infielders want to play a faster game. They don't want to stand around and wait. And I really do believe, and you'll see it in Major League Baseball this year. They're 7 or 8 minutes faster a game this year because of the digital signs and stuff like that. But that speed is channeling into better ERA, more balls in play, more guys getting out on ground balls and fly balls because the infielders are more active.
9-1-2 here to start the third. This is Kuznia for Andover. Fouls one out of play and then looks at ball 1-1. He's headed to Bethany Lutheran and playing in center field tonight. Then it's Myers and Waddell for Andover. Here's one hit in the air to center field. Chasing it back as Madison has it measured and puts it away. And quickly, one down. We go to the top of the order, and Logan Myers. He reached on a walk, advanced in a wild pitch, and then scored the first Andover run in inning number 1.
You've been watching a lot of baseball, obviously, Steve. I'm sure you've noticed that or picked up on the fact that the games are a little quicker. And certainly they've been messing with pitch clocks down in the minors for a couple of years now, and they see the numbers indicate that as well.
There's one fouled out of play by Myers, strike 1. So Linder's settled down after giving up a couple of runs on no hits. A couple of wild pitches didn't help the cause, but absolutely right. And I think for the sake of the game, they need to pick it up. Way too many 3-hour games. And you go to an NBA game, it's about a 2.5 hour time commitment. NHL game, about the same. NFL games, once a week, around 3 hours. The games are just too long.
And you actually come out to a mini ball game. You come out here to a Metro Mini Town Ball game.
Yep.
Even last Tuesday when we were out here for QCTV, the game was just a shade over 2 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes or so. That's fantastic. That's great rhythm.
Absolutely. 1-2, hit in the air to right field, carrying pretty deep. Scarborough back into his left, makes a catch, 2 away. So hit pretty well. But heavy air here tonight, and now a 2 away. That'll bring up Waddell. He walked, scored. He advanced in a wild pitch. 2 Andover runs in inning number 1, and we got something getting away from us.
I got it. Second time through the batting order now, Steve, too. You notice that starting to pick up the ball a little better here are the Aces, starting to put the ball in play and hit some drives.
That wasn't your paycheck, was it?
No, they don't pay me here. Are you kidding?
There's one hit in the air into shallow right, heading over. Jordan Axberg. Nice play on the foul line to retire the side. Boy, he went a long way, fought it, but caught it. And Andover goes 3 up, 3 down. And we have played 3. And it's still 2-1 Andover against North Branch tonight. In on the end of the regular season. We'll look at their upcoming schedules a little bit later on in the telecast. For North Branch, Scratch, Linder, and Solberg against Benji Bruce, who's done a nice job. Set him down in order. 1, 2, 3, 2 innings in a row, Tim.
And as the band Motion City Soundtrack said, coming back from break, everything might be all right here as the heavy stuff appears to at least be moving more south than west, and it might be all right.
Here's one slapped into center. Kuznia got a late jump, comes on, makes the play, 1 away.
As we keep watching it, I'm not saying we won't get a little rain here because we just might, but things do seem to be moving away from us right now.
And the breeze has picked up.
I'm okay with it.
Breeze has picked up here a little bit. 1 away, nobody aboard, and the batter is the pitcher, Charlie Linder. He reached on a fielder's choice in inning number 1. North Branch doing their damage. This one lifted high. It's going to drift into foul territory. Long run. What an attempt by the shortstop, Waddell.
What an effort. Oh, what an effort by Waddell. And he thought he had it, too.
There.
Oh, man, what an effort. And that would have been play of the day. Just stop the fight. That would have been the one right there. What a great effort from the Andover shortstop.
Yeah, just terrific. As he came over and almost got to it. It is just a strike. 0-1 now to Linder. And Linder, one of the original Nighthawks in his 6th year. 2015 North Branch graduate. Pitched 4 years at Augsburg. So a veteran guy pitching here tonight. Looks at a ball, 1-1. And that's what's so great. You get those kids right out of high school or in college. Then you get some of the veteran guys who hang around and play for the love of the game. There's one slap to left over shortstop, down for a hit. And their first hit since inning number 1. And it comes with one away and nobody aboard. And the batter is going to be Nick Solberg.
And that is kind of like with the key to town ball, right? You get those young players, but you need those kind of bedrock veteran guys that are just the charter members, if you will, that you can kind of count on year in and year out. We see it with Champlin. We see it with Anoka.
There's one outside, ball 1, 1-0 to Solberg playing at first base. Grounded out to end inning number 1. He is 0 for 1. Bruce is going to check that runner and deliver to the plate. This one in on the hands, and that's going to go foul. Didn't get a lot of it. Had some funny spin on it. It was flagged down by Brick. Felt a raindrop there. Big lightning bolt well to the west. I would say over downtown Maple Grove.
They'll keep an eye on that. As things
But
seem to be
it is
drifting.
definitely sliding that way. 1-1, 1 away, 1 on here in the 4th. And the Brews pitch at the letters in a late strike call. When they're at the letters, just wait.
Yeah, you got to hold off a second.
Right.
Give him a chance to let his strike mechanic come out there. You got to look at that sky, and you can see the difference.
1-2.
It is a sharp line if you look at the real severe stuff on the radar. We had that radar up just a few minutes ago, and you could see it was a very sharp line between the real heavy stuff and not.
Sprinkle here and there. 2-2, hit on the ground, 1 hop. Grabbed there by Demovic. The second for 1 on to first, double play. Nice turn. Andover gets the 4-6-3 double play. So they give up a hit, no damage. And we have played 3.5, and it is still 2-1 Andover. Slick fielding. Turned by Demovic. Relay to Waddell, and then on to first and Brick.
They listened from the first inning, did young Mr. Demovic. He tried to wait and tag a runner to get a double play in the first, and that led to a run. Here, he decides, I'm going to make the double play turn. I'm going to go to short with it, and they're able to turn it and get 2 on that. So well done by the Andover second baseman. And again, the defense really starting to flash here. Take a look at that again. And again, a quick flip. Waddell with a great toss over to Brick.
Good dig. Yeah, he dug it out, that throw on the home plate side of the bag, and he was able to dig it out. So we go to the 4th, and both managers talking with the home plate umpire, getting a sense on the weather. But from our vantage point, believe me, I don't want any part of lightning. But Jim Scrotch and Eric Linder from the North Branch dugout, and of course the Andover staff talking it over with the home plate umpire, and North Branch out in the field getting ready for the bottom of the 4th inning here. And looks like we will play on here at Noble for now.
We've played 3.5 innings in 43 minutes. So they are seeing it, and they want to, obviously they'd love to get more in here if they can. And they're going to be watching the skies here and trying very hard to push through and get this one at least to the official line, which is 5 innings. You got to play 5 to make the game official, and they already took a rain out on Saturday against Forest Lake, so they would love to at least get this one in and make it an official.
And Forest Lake rained out again tonight. They pulled the pin on that one. Rob Belishner, of course, talking with his team. They're keeping an eye on it. We're actually seeing the sun poke through what looks to be the back end of the worst of the storm, which is sliding well to the west toward West Metro, maybe Maple Grove on down to Plymouth and beyond. Good news is we're here just north of 610 in Brooklyn Park. 610 in Noble to be exact. There's one fouled out of play. And we had absolutely no wind at the beginning of the ball game, and now we're getting more and more of a breeze. By the way, it's Charlie Hora. 3, 4, and 5 for Andover here in the bottom of the 4th, leading it 2-1. That one's fouled back to the screen now, 0-2. The big left-handed batter, Hora. He hit a fly ball, drove in a run. So a sac fly RBI for Hora back in the 1st.
And both pitchers have really settled in after some early struggles with command and control, but they have found their way fouled at the plate that time.
Came right back to the pitcher. Linder was ready for the 1-3 putout. Solberg was at the weight, but it is a foul ball, and the count rides along at 0-2. to Hora. Then it'll be Benji Bruce, Sam Bloha, left fielder, one of the player coaches for this Aces team. That one's upstairs, now 1-2.
Yeah, it was kind of a funny conversation we had with Jim Scrock at the beginning of the game about, hey, I had to wait for the lineup because I got to know what I got here before we give you that.
Yeah, who's going to show? Here's one hit through the hole into right field, a solid base hit for Horace. So he has a leadoff single here in the fourth. And that is just hit number 2 for Andover here tonight. The other safety came from Tyler Brick in inning number 2. Remember, there are 2 runs in the first. No hits in that inning.
Couple of walks, couple of wild pitches. That's where, Linder was kind of struggling, trying to find command, trying to get comfortable out there. And since then, he's been very, very good.
Here's the pitcher, Bruce, digs in. This one down low, ball 1, 1-0.
His counterpart, Bruce, has also done that. Really settled in nicely since the first inning.
The one thing I've liked about Noble over the years, they have excellent lights here for an amateur field. They have terrific lighting at this ballpark, and there is a strike now, 1-1. So the players can't complain about being here. And once again, if Brooklyn Park finally gets the grandstand built, it'll be really a nice ad. When they've certainly got the scoreboard. Someone working the scoreboard here tonight. There's one fouled out of play, but to add the PA and
get a comfortable desk chair for you and me to sit on. I mean, little things like that. These are the little things that we're looking for.
A fan.
That's a fan would be good.
Yeah.
Maybe AC in the box wouldn't even be all that bad.
A small refrigerator.
Small refrigerator. That'd be great.
We're not asking for much. The 1-2. Down in the dirt, 2-2. Runner at first, Hora. Bruce batting, waiting on deck, Sam Bloha. So it is the meat of the Andover order. 3, 4, and 5 here in inning number 4. And, I would assume part of the plans, like they did, for instance, at Castlefield, add a batter's eye, make gradual improvements to the facility. But this is a good one. They've got a good start here for sure.
No question about that.
Down in the dirt now, 3-2.
And in a 2-1 game, all Bruce wants to try to do is try to move this runner into scoring position, give the hitter behind you an opportunity. Plohas waiting on deck. And a little bingo here from Benji Bruce would go a long way.
Andover trying to tack on to that 2-1 lead. That one skips away from the catcher, and no one's going to be able to advance on that walk. So a hit and a walk for Andover, and they're in business here in the fourth with the number 5 hitter, Sam Plohas.
Well, the one thing we know about just baseball in general, but certainly when we watch town ball, is walks really do come back to bite pitchers in this league. And we saw that in the first inning, and we might see it here again in the fourth.
First pitch swinging, hit it on the air, on the infield. Third base, shortstop puts it away.
Infield fly rule might have been called there anyway, too, but you're right. Got to make the play. Runners advance at their own risk. Nobody's moving. Big out for Linder. Big out.
Runner's still at first and second. That's going to bring up big Tyler Brick. Had that single and then got doubled up on that fly ball to center field. Straight a little bit too far from first. And got doubled off. The Linder pitch smashed toward third by third base. Justin Axberg into left field. And now they're loaded. The runners had to wait. And the lead runner, Hora, pulls into third. Bruce down to second. Brick drives one by Justin Axberg down at first. And now they're loaded with one out for Andover in the fourth.
It looked like Axberg had a beat on it. It looked like he was going to get that thing, but then it was almost like it drifted on him, like it went away from him. And just like that, the ball's into the outfield.
So now second base, Jake Demovic, fly ball to center. They're able to turn it into a double play. So Linder in some hot water here in the fourth with Andover leading at 2-1. Just a few raindrops here. It's certainly not pouring. And the curveball or a strike at the letters to Domovic.
With that wind, with some of the raindrops, maybe gripping the ball could become a challenge here. Watching that spin on a fly ball could become a challenge. Something to watch here in the next few innings. Umbrellas out. Ours are out. All of them around us are out. It's kind of interesting.
1-1 pitch here to Domovic. They are loaded, one away here in the fourth. Linder's pitch. Curveball outside, stabbed there by the catcher, Austin Darwin.
And Darwin has been very busy, Steve, as you can tell these first 4 innings. And there you see the stark difference between where the weather is and where it is not up there on our view. That's ripped foul back out of play as well.
I parked far enough away. I hope you did too.
I did as well. Yep. I try to always try to push myself out there as far as I can.
Yeah, the rookie mistake, take one of the open spots close to the ballpark. Not a good idea. 2-2. This one slapped in the air. Could be down. No, diving attempt by Jordan Axberg. Couldn't come up with it. 1 run will score. They throw into second to get the force there because everybody had to wait. Jordan Axberg made almost a terrific play. But nevertheless, it falls for a hit. 1 run scores. It's now 3-1.
Boy, another great effort. Just throwing the bat at the ball was Domovic. They're able to get Brick at second base, as you mentioned, but that's a big second out to get. But you can see just a little flare into shallow right field and almost had it. It was in the glove of Axberg, just not able to squeeze it, and that would have been a huge out. They still may not have stopped that runner from tagging up because that would have been a tough play.
This one down in the dirt, blocked by Darwin, saved a run there. So runners at the corners, 2 out. The RBI single by Domovic. Brick retired 4-6. Bruce down at third. Domovic at first. Sam Berg at the plate. Chance to add to this Andover lead in the fourth. There's one low and away. Now 2-0.
Yeah, Linder struggling a little more this inning with command. Trying to get out of this jam with just the run.
Runner goes from first. Catcher won't even bother. And taking the base is Domovic. So now runners second and third. So a Berg hit could make it 5-1 Andover here in the fourth. Darwin the catcher, Linder on the mound. Justin Axberg at third. There's one down in the dirt. Good block again. Now 3-1. Jimmy Scratch at short. Jordan Axberg, who made almost that spectacular catch a moment ago at second. Nick Solberg at first. Wolf, Madison, and Scarborough in the outfield for North Branch. 3-1 the count. 2 away. Runners at second and third. The pitch. That is a strike. 3-2.
Nice committed one there from Linder. As it looked like he was maybe trying to nibble a little bit, going from the outside and ended up missing it low. Maybe overthrowing a touch. That time just settled in and made a nice one.
3-2. Curveballs.
No.
And he'll get a walk. Oh, it was close. And now they're loaded again. Second walk of the inning. And they're loaded for the number 9 hitter.
That's Kuznia.
So Kuznia is going to dig in. Fly ball to center in the third. He's 0 for 1. 3-1 Andover. First pitch swinging high in the air. Into left field. Coming on the left fielder to make the catch, Noah Wolf. And retires the side. So Andover makes noise. They only score 1. And after 4, they lead it 3-1 here on QCTV.
I never graduated from high school. I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
The heart is a blue.
So we still have a few raindrops, not enough to stop play here at Noble Park in Brooklyn Park, right along 610 and Noble. Andover hosting North Branch tonight. Some non-league play, amateur ball. Andover leads at 3-1 as we go to the fifth. Benji Bruce still on the mound for Andover, and we will see 6, 7, and 8. Jordan Axberg, Justin Axberg, and Isaiah Scarborough for North Branch here as they try and battle back. They led it 1-0 after a half inning. Andover added a couple, made it 2-1 in that first, and then Andover a moment ago added a run. So after 4, 3-1 Aces over the Nighthawks here tonight. We see lightning well to the southwest, not a threat here, and the wind continues to pick up.
Yeah, the wind does seem to pick up, and this is the crucial fifth inning, right? If we can kind of get through there, that would make this game official. So they definitely are looking at that as they watch this inning play itself out. Yeah, the rain has continued to kind of fall here, but not as heavy as predicted. Heavy stuff has drifted a little bit south of us, which is a good thing.
Axberg struck out to start inning number 2. He's 0 for 1. Here's one smashed to third and caught by Myers. Step to his left, stabbed it, quickly one away.
Since the first inning, Bryce has been really in control of things, and he's worked some very fast innings. He's been setting them down in order. Just gave up the one single to Charlie Linder back in the fourth, but even then was promptly dismissed on a double play.
Justin Axberg grounded out in inning number 2. He's 0 for 1. Benji Bruce settled down.
We commented that Bruce hadn't worked a lot of innings prior to tonight.
Haven't fallen out of play.
Hadn't really started anything as based on the statistics, but tonight looks like a seasoned vet, like he's been starting all year.
He's pitched well here tonight for Andover. The 1-1. That one slapped in the air into left center field. That's down for a hit. Cutting it off is Kuznia. So a one-out single for Axberg. And that is hit number 3 for North Branch. And now that'll bring up Isaiah Scarborough, the right fielder. He's struck out to end the second inning.
And if you're North Branch, you might be saying to yourself, yeah, we're only down 2 runs. We don't want to press. At the same time, no innings are really promised to you after this one. So you got to treat every inning like it's the 9th inning, and you got to try to get runs.
There's a curveball that misses away, 1-0. There's one at the knees. Inside, 2-0. So Bruce falls behind, the number 8 hitter. Catcher Darwin waiting on deck. This one hit into the hole, stabbed there by Waddell. Long throw to first in time. What a play.
Yeah, just had the one play to first. He took a look at second base and opted just to make the long throw down to first, but a great effort from Waddell in the hole at short and was able to at least get one on that play.
Yeah, terrific play as he slid to his right, stabbed it, popped up, strong throw to Brick at first. 2 away, runner at second. That is Justin Axberg, and now it brings up number 9 hitter Austin Darwin.
Darwin popped out to the pitcher in his first at bat, now comes up with a runner in scoring position.
And that one chopped foul. Coming over to stab it was Myers, but well into foul territory. Not very often you write a 1 in your scorebook. It doesn't happen much, and we got a chance to do that to start inning number 2.
It's kind of the fun part of baseball, right?
Yeah, you
just never know what you're going to put on the card that night. It's something
Yeah.
different every time, and that's always what's fun.
That's so true. The 0-1. And it reminds me of one of my favorite stories. I had a number of opportunities to visit with the late, great Herb Carneal. Called Twins games on the radio for a long time. And I asked him, all these years at the ballpark, a career that started in the 50s and, you know, all the way into the 90s, you know, thousands of major league games. And I said, Herb, what kept you coming back to the ballpark? Because there were a lot of lean years in his career and a lot of bad teams. And he said, you never know what you're going to see at the ballpark on any given day or any given night. And that's what kept me coming back. And I'll never forget that. That you just never know. 2-1 up high. Now 3-1. One away, runner at second for North Branch here in the 5th. Just a wonderful guy, and what a career. Finally got world champions, 87 and 91.
There's a lot of broadcasters in town who'd probably trade that career.
Yeah, for sure.
They would trade that career.
There's a 2-out walk, and now runners at first and second for North Branch. Good news for the Nighthawks. They go to the top of the order, and Clint Matheson. And Madison had a walk and a run scored in the first, struck out in the third, and now we're going to get a courtesy runner out there.
Matt Solberg, another one of the many relatives here on the North Branch squad, as Solberg will courtesy run.
Yeah, so you can get the tools of ignorance situated. Catcher get a breather, get him off the base pass. They put in enough work behind the plate. Runners at first and second, 2 away, and that pitch is a little high, ball 1.
Boy, not getting that letter strike. That was happening early in the game there because that looked to be right at the letters, but not getting it. But again, same spot for the North Branch Nighthawks. Base hit here, you might get a run across.
There's a swing and a foul tip back to the screen. Just got a piece of it.
It's a good situation to be in for North Branch. You get the top of the order up, got a couple ducks on. This is where you want to get a little knock, and there's plenty of room down the left field line.
There's one way outside, stabbed by Berg. They get it right back out to Benji Bruce.
As Plohas shading Matson a touch, a little bit more towards left center, not really straight away left.
2-1 the count, 2 away, 2 on, top of the 5th. This one hit high in the air into left field. Plohas has it near the line, and that'll retire the side. Oh, he saw it all the way, and Benji Bruce and Andover avoids damage here in the top of the 5th. We have played 4.5, and they still lead it 3-1. And there's a good look at that sky, straight west and to the northwest. And once again, we have a few raindrops, a bit of a breeze, but clearly the heaviest stuff missed us well to the west. We have been able to play on.
Got through that critical juncture of 4.5 innings, so we have played halfway here. And yeah, we might be jettisoning the umbrellas here in just a second. That sounds great.
I'm going to ditch mine.
Look at you. I mean, you're such a pro.
And here's the thing, Tim. My scorebook and defensive chart and all my notes are wet. I'm at the point, why not? Let's just ride it out as is as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Well, that's the thing. See, that's wet, but you don't have to be. Like, there are sacrifices that you can make. I mean, that's the way it is. But
I shower once a week whether I need it or not, so here's my opportunity. So, but all in all, it could have been much worse because I have a feeling if they're trying to play any sort of baseball or any outdoor activity southwest of the ballpark, they're not getting it done.
Nope, that's not happening right now for sure.
They are indoors, so we certainly caught a break here in Brooklyn Park tonight. And Charlie Linder's out there.
A new pitcher on the mound. Clint Matheson has moved to the mound. They've moved Linder over to third as they shift players around. Matheson, who was in center, now gives way. And I'm not quite sure who's out there yet, whether they've shifted around the players in the field or if they've moved Solberg out there. I'm not really sure at this point.
Yeah,
I'm going to see if third baseman Axberg, they may have shifted Justin Axberg out to the outfield.
So Linder's at third, as you mentioned. Madison comes in from center, and he's got some sidearm action. And then you can see Linder, and we might get a shot of the center fielder
And Wolf,
here
I
in a
think, is
moment.
who they've moved out there. It looks like it. Yep, Noah Wolf has moved over to center, so Axberg might be in left.
So it's Wolf
There he is.
in center field. There's a look. And if we can get a shot of the left fielder, we'll be golden.
Look at everybody taking. There it is, Axberg. Yep, they've moved Justin Axberg off to left field. And that has got everybody taken care of now. So there you go. You are up to date. All of the positions have been filled.
Yeah, so Justin Axberg in left. Noah Wolf in center. Isaiah Scarborough stays in right. The pitcher Linder to third. Scratch at short. Jordan Axberg at second base. Nick Solberg at first. Austin Darwin behind the plate. And now Clint Madison on the mound in relief as we start the fifth.
So close the book on Linder. He throws 4 innings. He gives up a couple of runs, walks some guys, had a tough time with command there early and late. In the middle looked pretty good, and now gives way to Clint Madison, who's going to try to get a few innings in here in the middle stages. Comes in with a little 3/4, kind of a half submarine look.
And he's taking on the leadoff hitter for Andover to start the fifth, Logan Myers, playing at third base. And Myers has seen ball 1, ball 2, and now ball 3. There's one slap foul. 3-1 now the count. It's back into the trees.
Always a bit of an adjustment when you counter from an over-the-top guy to some sort of 3/4 sidearm. And you could see not a big leg kick for Madsen. And so this is where, like, it takes a little time for a hitter to adjust.
3-1, way up high, low bridge, look out.
That'll make you adjust very quickly. And
So actually it was,
now
It was-
so it was 2-2. So now it's
Yes.
3-2.
now it's full. 2-2 the count. A moment ago now, full at 3-2. Leadoff man Myers here in the fifth for Andover. He offers at that and gets a leadoff walk. Well, they get a leadoff walk. They did in the first. Ultimately turned that into a couple of runs. Back-to-back walks to start the game. And Andover made him pay. The other run coming in the fourth. Hora, the leadoff single, came around to score. And now it's Carson Waddell at short. He walked, scored in the first. Retired on a terrific play in the third.
Third trip through the lineup now. So North Branch subscribing to maybe that idea of not letting a team see you 3 times and countering with a new pitcher here on this third trip through.
There's one hit in the air, shallow center field. Jimmy Scratch backs up just into the outfield grass. Makes a play, 1 away.
Always a big deal when you come in relief. You want to get an out quickly. You don't want to sit there and let the first couple guys get on base. That can really mess with you. Nice when you can get that out. You can settle in. Now dealing with a left-handed hitter in Charlie Ora, who has a single and also flied to left.
RBI coming on that sac fly. RBI, big swing and a strike. Took a huge cut. Runner will go back on the foul ball. Well, you got a big cut at that.
Yeah, he saw that one well, and straight back tells you that he had a pretty good feel for the timing of that, which might make Madsen think this over just a little bit about what he brings to the plate. Maybe he wants to change speeds, change eye levels, change locations here.
Wanted to hit that out onto Region Avenue. There's one way up high and away. 1-1.
And that might have been semi-intentional to kind of change again. They change the eye level, change the look, change the comfort level of Charlie Ora a little bit.
Region Avenue is the road over the right field fence. Noble Parkway is to the east, the namesake of the park we sit in. 1-1. 1 away, 1 on for Andover here in the bottom of the fifth. They lead it 3-1. Still sprinkles now, but
Checking back over on the runner, Nick, as Solberg is holding the leadoff man Myers.
still lightning bolts well to the southwest. No threat to the field here. There's one high and away now, 3-1. So Madison in relief after Linder pitched the first 4, and he's struggled a little bit with his control.
Yeah, you can't afford to let 2 guys get on here with a walk. You're going to have to give in and bring him something here.
3-1 on the way. That's fouled out of play.
And don't be afraid to let him hit the ball. You know, don't trust your defense. Put that ball in play a little bit, and I think you're going to have to do that again. Talk a little bit about how pitchers get into trouble just sort of aiming and trying to nibble at the corners, not really going at it and attacking a hitter. I always like it when the pitcher just says, here's what I'm throwing, hit it.
3-2, hit on the ground to second, bobbled a bit, everybody's safe. Well, Jordan Axberg couldn't come up with it cleanly. I think he was trying to turn 2, and it didn't pan out, so everybody's safe.
Well,
E4. Runners at first and second. I'm going to put down E4, not the official scorer, but I think you would concur.
Yeah, that was boots, and you have to handle that one. You need that if you're the second baseman. Got to bail out your pitcher there.
So a walk and an error. Now runners at first and second, 1 away, and this will bring up pitcher Benji Bruce. Struck out in the first, walked in the 4th. And a chance to pad the lead. It's 3-1 Andover, bottom of the 5th.
And I just got done talking about how you got to trust your defense, put the ball in play. Well, that's where the defense has to pay you off. I mean, a big out right there. And I think what happened is Axberg gets caught up between wanting to hustle in for a double play there, trying to see if he can get that leadoff man, that he doesn't even have the ball corralled and then can't even get the runner at first.
This one chopped foul. We get a new ball in there.
This is where I harp on all the time about how when balls just get in play, that's just way better than waiting. I mean, if you can get a 3-run homer, great, right? But getting runners moving, putting balls in play, you give yourself chances to make things happen.
1-2 on the way, 1 away. Runners at first and second. Andover half of the 5th. In the dirt, skips away from the catcher, Darwin. Everybody's going to move up a base. And now Andover in a good spot with 1 out, runners at second and third.
Yeah, Matson way off with that one. Threw about a 54-footer to the plate, and that thing took a hard turn on Darwin. No chance to get in front of it and stop it. Everybody moves up, and now golden opportunity right here.
Bruce in 2-2 pitch. That one gets by the catcher. Run's going to scamper home from third. Slide safe. Myers makes it 4-1 Andover. And Hora goes from second to third.
So the first one was a wild pitch. This one's a pass ball. This is one that Darwin's got to have. He tries to glove it with the glove down instead of getting the body in front of it. And it goes right through the old 5-hole if you were the hockey goalie right there. No chance to stop that. And that, again, you got to get the body in front of it.
So now 3-2. Run in, runner at third, and another one.
Just like that.
Down low, and it's blocked. And now there's runners at the corners. And still 1 away. And Sam Plohaus, the left fielder, is going to step up in a 4-1 ball game. Andover 2 in the first, 1 in the 4th. Now 1 here in the 5th inning.
And they're looking for a knockout punch right now, I think.
Way outside.
If you can get something into the gap here, got a chance to really open this up, get a couple runs across, can put this thing away.
Rain is almost stopped. This is laced to right for a hit. Run will trot home from third. Now 5-1 Andover on the RBI single by Sam Plohaus. Horace scores. Bruce pulls up at second. And now we got a meeting of the minds on the mound. And a 5-1 Andover lead.
And I wonder if they're going to maybe make a move here on Matson, or if they're just going to try to figure out a defensive alignment. And now they are going to move on Matson. So Matson maybe changing gloves here, maybe going somewhere else. They're not a deep bench. They don't have a lot of guys out there. So Matson's going to come out, and we'll see what this does. as far as just the defensive arrangement. And, yeah, he's going to get a different glove, it looks like. So Mattsson's going to go maybe jump back out to the outfield or somewhere. And they are going to switch arms here in the 5th inning.
And I'm going to try and sort out what those changes are. You're going to help me out.
I am.
The camera operators are going to help us all out on what the move is here. But North Branch in trouble here. A couple of runs in, and still plenty of aces on the bases here.
Aces on the bases. As they go to number 16, it's going to be Isaiah Scarborough who's going to come in and do the pitching, and he's going to take warm-up tosses. Yep, correct. And that might mean Mattson goes to right field when
that
the
would make
opportunity.
it easy on us.
That would make it very easy. Mattson did play the, he started the game in center, and so it would make sense as Scarborough takes the warm-up tosses. 1/3 of an inning for Mattson. He's responsible for the runners at first and second. He gives up a run. Command an issue.
And just couldn't find the zone. Big Tyler Brick waiting on deck. A couple of hits already tonight.
You wonder if there was a little pitch count for Linder, because he wasn't. I mean, he was starting to settle in and pitch okay. I would have thought they would have let him go, but I wonder if maybe they had just hit a maybe a time when they needed to move off of him to save his arm. Scarborough, I will say, in the warm-up tosses, big overhand delivery, but doesn't appear to be overly comfortable with the mound. I've seen him slip now a couple times in the warm-up tosses, and I do wonder if he's going to need a little more time to kind of get ready as the rain kind of picks back up again here.
Time to go to the umbrella.
Well, you and I are ready for it. This is why we are as seasoned veterans as we are.
Well, I'm trying to hang on to what remains of my scorebook. That one skips by the catcher, goes all the way to the backstop. So Scarborough's pitch is a wild pitch, and the runners move up. And now Andover has runners at second and third again.
And this is the trouble with the short bench, right? You didn't give Scarborough an opportunity to really get warm. So I can't imagine he's got his best stuff right now.
There's one on the edge, 1-1. So Brick, 1-1, one on, 2 runs across the plate. Scoreboard here at the park says 4-1, but the score on your screen says 5-1, and that's another one wide. Runner in from third, and it's 6-1. So another wild pitch.
Yeah, this is on the corner of ugly and tough to watch right now.
Yeah, so Bruce scores from third. Ploha's now at third. Brick still at the plate. And the count 2-1.
And the Lightning overhead, and the umpire just called that, I think. Umpire saw Lightning close to us in the area, and I think they're going to yank players off the field.
Yeah, and I think they probably, at this moment, the rain has picked up. The lightning bolt was straight down the left field line, well south of the ballpark, but the umpire just said, nah, a little bit too close. Here we are with Andover batting in the bottom of the fifth inning, leading at the moment 6-1. 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth. They've tacked on 3 here in the fifth, and they're going to get the players off the field.
And I think they may be trying to decide if they're going to keep playing or not. Oh, I think they're going to call that right there.
They're going to call the game?
I think that's what it looked like. They were saying, let's wave and let's go. And I think that's what they might be doing. It looks like they're going to call it right here in the fifth inning. North Branch maybe throwing a white flag up here, looking at the weather, maybe looking at the radar, looking at where they are in the game.
Yeah, 6-1. They're going to cover up the mound, and I just want to get confirmation that that's it. Once again, we're getting pictures here from the truck, but there was a bolt. It was well south of the ballpark, but clearly in the umpire's field of view.
And the umpire is heading out. and they are covering the field. And so I do believe fans are getting up, moving around. I'm going to try to go get a confirmation.
All right, so it looks like the game is official here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Once again, the game is official through 4.5. And Andover tacked on 3 to make it 6-1. And that's it. So they have called the ball game here at Noble Park in Brooklyn Park. So Andover's going to win this one 6-1 in 5 innings. And just like that, Tim Anderson, we're going to call it a night.
Yeah, just like that. You know, we talked about that 5th inning being critical. They wanted to get to that 5th inning so they could make this game official. This was big for Andover, and they do pick up a nice little victory, and they were just starting to find their way, hitting the ball really well here tonight. Overall, a really nice showing for the Aces in the 5-inning game.
Yeah, so Andover goes to 10-14 in this non-league game here tonight. Big thanks to our crew and all the work they put in to get us ready. Thanks so much for joining us here on QCTV. Amateur baseball, Andover takes down North Branch tonight 6-1. Good night from Brooklyn Park.